The Burning Wishes were great. I love that we managed to turn this into a Burning Wish deck. That felt really good. Being able to Burning Wish into the Pyroclasm to kill the Death Rites felt great. Sort of cryptic, it's mostly back. No, this is sweet. League it up, says Drew to Druid. I don't think it's ready, though. Or, I mean, I think it's ready, it's just... it's close. It's missing something. It's missing something. Oh, you know what? We cut the, and that makes me sad. We cut the Overmaster. But am I really going to Burning Wish into Overmaster and then... Let's say I have a Mizzix Mastery in my hand, right? But I'm like, okay, well, we know he has a counterspell. So I Burning Wish into Overmaster. This is just, I'm thinking about the line in my head. So we Burning Wish into Overmaster, and then what? Like, I might have been better off just grabbing a Deep Analysis from the Wish board. I might have been better off just grabbing a, Run a Besager. I just don't have one. Avida wants me to try to beat Miracles and Rest in Peace. We'd have to buy some more cards, and I don't have... We used the whole budget. I already used all the money that we raised today for the deck. I'd have to buy a Lightning Storm, that's 1 to 2 tickets. I'd have to buy Dream Halls. Dream Halls are they're more than 2 tickets a pop. Play Silence. Besager is 5 tickets. I mean, I could start a donation going, we could try to get the rest of those cards. The thing is, here, let me open a new copy. What would that version look like? Would it run fewer City of Traders? Probably. I think we have too many City of Traders. In general, I would actually try to main deck. I would try to sneak the Besager into the main deck, actually. There's a lot of Miracles. There is. There's, like, if you go to a league right now, there's going to be a lot of Miracles. I would maybe try to get the Besager into the main deck mana base. Even though it's a tap land, I would try to sneak this into the main. I would try to trim the Simeon. I would try to wean us off of trying to go off with 0 mana if we've already used a Petal. Yeah, I would try to do that first. Those couple changes is what I would do first. I would try to wean us off the the Simeon, and I'd try to just work with just the Petals. Run some Sensei stops? No, I don't really. I mean, like, there's a reason you look at, like, not that we're necessarily show and tell, because we're not. We're not sneak and show, we're not show and tell. Very different archetype. What's nice is that this can be built on a budget, relatively speaking. Obviously, it's legacy, so take it with a grain of salt, or a grain of yeah. I mean, it's legacy. So when we talk budget and legacy, yes, this is a budget blue-red combo, draws the whole deck and then kills your opponent. But it's not on the same power level necessarily as, or maybe it is. I mean, this feels like it has more tools than, this feels more reminiscent. I wouldn't compare this deck necessarily to Sneak and Show. I actually would talk about this deck in the context of Omnitel, actually. not that this deck is stronger, it's weaker, but Omnitel basically didn't get banned, but basically a lot of the enablers for that deck just don't exist. No, I can't. And let me tell you why, Austin. If I did, we'd have to give back the Blood Moons and this deck wouldn't exist anyway. Nathaniel said the next time I borrow cards, I have to give back the Blood Moons, I have to give back the Aether Vials, I have to give back the Scalding Tarns. So basically, I'm kind of in a pickle with borrowing cards from my sponsors right now, because if I do, we have to give back 3 decks worth of cards. Basically, Nathaniel's been very kind, and because I didn't know about that disclaimer, he's let me hang on to the different decks that I borrowed in the short period of time that I've joined the team or rejoined the team. So basically, we're in a pickle. If I try to borrow cards again, we have to give back. Or excuse me, not the Blood Moons. These were a gift. I'm sorry. I'm just talking about the Scalding Tarns we'd have to give back, and a lot of the other tools that I'm borrowing. The Doomsdays, for example, I'd have to give back, and I still actively play those in Vintage and Legacy. I'd have to give back the Horizon Canopies, Vials, yeah. Wouldn't Volcanic Fallout be better? But you can't tutor for it. That's an instant. We can tutor for Power Clausing. If you want an uncountable sweeper, we have Cycle Slice Dice. How long does the card borrowing process take? Nathaniel's been really lenient with me. He's let me just hang on to him for now. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure someday I'll have to give him back. You only own one Volcanic. Right, and then the other Volcanic is... Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I mean, like, if I try to borrow cards from Card Hoarder, like, a lot of my decks... Not a lot, but several decks that I still like to play actively won't have cards anymore. So, I think it's in our best interest to try to raise these on our own for now, without my sponsor. Not that I'm not appreciative, like, I'm very appreciative. Like, Nathaniel has given me a lot, and it was simply because I didn't know that you could only borrow one deck at a time. I'm actually technically borrowing, like, 2 or 3 decks simultaneously. Technically. If you want to get technical, I'm borrowing, like, 2 or 3 decks. Whereas most of the people who borrow through the sponsorship are only allowed to borrow 1 deck at a time. No, Part Trap, because Nathaniel said I have to give back all of the other decks the next time I trade in, dude. So basically, I'm in a pickle. If I borrow cards ever again, instead of getting to borrow 3 decks simultaneously, I'm limited to 1 deck. Why would I want? I wouldn't want to necessarily limit what we can stream. Like, we would lose our vintage decks, we would lose Tin Fins and Legacy, and I would lose all the Aether Vial decks all at once if I borrow cards again from Card Hoarder anytime soon. We lose multiple archetypes, and I can't stream them for you anymore. I can't stream Aether Vial decks, I can't stream a lot of our blue-red decks, we have to give back the Tarns, I can't stream any of the Doomsday decks, and there's several other cards I'm not thinking of that I've borrowed that I had to give back. So Part Trap, there's no point in borrowing cards again for a long time. Until we stop playing all of those archetypes I just listed, and I don't see that happening anytime soon. Most of my expensive cards are borrowed, Flux. Most, yeah. Most of either we raised here on the stream through a couple summers ago. Most of them you guys have helped me with, or they're borrowed from my sponsor. So, or I bought them myself with what little I have. But basically, yeah, it's not